How y'all doing? I'm Paul Ryan, your host of the Across the Cowboys podcast. If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. And to our regular listeners, welcome back. With me, as always, is the greatest co-host in the world, Mike the Pig Crum. Mike, how are you?
How you think I'm doing?
I'd imagine amazing, sir.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. I'm in Cali. I'm a Lakers fan. They won the in-season tournament. Dallas throttles the Philadelphia Eagles. Can't complain. I'm good.
Yes, sir. Before we get into our discussion, I don't know if it's Mike, you, or Brenden, maybe it's you, but there's some background noise coming in. I don't know if either one of y'all can hear it, but there's definitely some sort of audio that's kind of distracting. Can either one of y'all hear it?
I don't have anything playing on my side. There's legit
I have my heater on, but it's always on. It's been on every episode.
What does it sound like?
Yeah, what do you hear?
It sounds like hold on. Man, I can't really explain the noise, but it doesn't sound like a heater or anything running. It almost sounds like something on TV, like you would hear like in a sci-fi show or something. I know that's weird, but that's the best way I can describe it. I can't really explain it.
You are being probed by aliens, sir.
I was like, I don't hear anything.
I don't hear it either.
Neither one of y'all can hear it, man. That's strange. It's not on my end because there's nothing on in this room that I am. But whatever. I will get past it. Sorry for that, guys. Mike, where can we find you on Twitter?
I got to know what this is. No, just kidding. At CD Piglet. Just in case, I'll turn my heater off.
Yeah, I don't think it's that, man. I really don't, but it's very strange. It's the first time I've ever heard it.
My PC's like fans always make noise, but it's been on in the same place we've done every episode.
Yeah.
So,
no.
Do you still hear it?
Yeah, I still hear it.
Okay, then it wasn't the heater.
Wait, Prescott or Jordan, do y'all hear anything?
Jordan said he didn't hear anything.
Brother, what's going on with you, man?
I have no idea, man.
That's some
I have
creepy
no
stuff.
idea. Yeah, it really is. All right, Brenden, you're here with us tonight. Obviously, the president of the Jake Ferguson fan club. Fergie, how are you tonight? Nope, there it is. Sorry, Brenden. How are you tonight, man?
I'm doing great. Last night was phenomenal. It was especially great for the Ferguson fan club going on. So it was a pretty damn good game. I was really happy.
Just so y'all know, I'm not crazy. Prescott says he hears it too. It's very distracting, guys.
It's Prescott, though.
Yeah, he's not gonna say he hears something just because I hear it. I promise you.
Try and pull this up on my phone to see if I hear anything.
I don't know, man. It's not a big deal. It's just annoying, and the fact that Prescott hears it too, it's strange. But the fact that neither one of y'all can hear it, but Prescott can hear it, is weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Oh, well. Brenden, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
You can find me at Brenden_Smith26.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. Well, Mike, it's been a couple of weeks since we got to discuss this. Of course, I'm referring to my personal favorite segment, Meatless Monday. Mike, what was on the menu today?
Man, I wish I could tell you it was something exciting, but it was too busy and there's too much stuff going on, which I can't get into on the pod, but there's too much stuff going on right now to really set up. In another month, I will be able to have much better Meatless Mondays, and we'll discuss them. But today we can move on to Cowboys whooping the Eagles. It's nothing you guys haven't heard before. It's same old stuff I've had plenty of times.
Cauliflower crust pizza.
Sir, that's one of them. Yep.
And cereal.
No, I don't eat cereal very much, but we'll get into that with our top 5 later.
Yes, sir. I'm excited for the top 5 tonight, man. Even though I too do not eat cereal like I used to, it took me down memory lane, man. And cereal used to be one of my favorite foods to eat, dude, back in the day.
I have you know what? We'll wait till the top 5. Let's get into Cowboys.
We will wait. Yeah, speaking of the Cowboys, man, a dominating victory last night. A balanced victory, too, if you kind of look at it here. We're going to get into it. But, Mike, was this win led by defense or the offense?
I think because of, Eagles being a top-ranked offensive unit and how our offense gave up more points than our defense did, that I think most people are going to lean defense here, but I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going the offense. And the reason why is they blitzed them so quick, like started off the game. One thing we don't do a lot, especially in games like this, the bigger games, is come down and like take over right away. Well, they came down, punched him in the mouth, got a touchdown. Then the Eagles had a pretty good drive, but there was a fumble. And I believe we got a field goal off of that. And then next 2 possessions, touchdown. So, like, you're at the end of half, you're 24-6, and your defense hasn't done anything but score points every drive, or your offense. So, you know, you could go either way because the defense was amazing too, but the offense just normally isn't, you know, they haven't been like this. This has been a defensive-led team for over a year now. Even though we've had a high-powered offense, the defense has really been the key, especially in these big games. Not this. The offense was like, nah, bro, we're taking this one over early. So I was happy about that.
Brenden, anything to add to that?
I thought defense when I first read the show sheet. It's not, well, first off, Mike's right. The offense was awesome. Like you put 33 points on the board. Like you're not going to be complaining whatsoever with that. But like Dak said, Dak could have played better, and so the offense is great, but you left points on the board. The defense choke slammed the Eagles every time. Like, oh shit, they're gonna score. Oh no, never mind. Turnover. Okay, cool. We're back. We got the ball back. It was just momentum killers. It was awesome. That Jalen Hurts was like, oh wow, this is what's going to go on. Stephon Gilmore played his butt off, dude. Micah Parsons had his Jordan flu game and balled out against Lane Johnson.
Absolutely, yeah. It's quite the performance last night, man. My answer was that the offense set the tone early in the game, and the defense did the rest. It was a balanced attack for me. You can't really go wrong with either one of y'all's answers, man. To be totally honest.
Can I change my answer? Can I say it was a special teams game because Brandon Aubrey scored more points than they did?
Butter baby.
I know Brenden likes Aubrey because butter and bread, man, goes together.
Breadman.
I saw that from a mile away.
Next week, our top 5 categories can be our top 5 breads. It's been decided. Brenden, that's gonna be a great category for you.
Okay.
It's going to be all his Thanksgiving sides, 1 through 5.
Mac and cheese. Oh, no, never mind. That's an entree. My bad, Mike. I forgot. Mac and cheese is an entree, not an appetizer. Brenden, was this a turning point for the defense?
You held the team to who was the top team in the league to 6 points. Like, are you joking me? Dude, Philly couldn't do anything. They had some little chunk plays. You're like, okay, cool, they might score here. No, like everything was. Deron Bland barely got tested after all these Eagle fans like, oh well, he's not great in big plays and all. I'm like, okay, cool, do it. DeMarcus Lawrence played well in the run game. You're talking about Micah, Stephon Gilmore. That's defensive player of the year. Stephon Gilmore we saw in 2019. The safeties had their best game since week 1, maybe. Like they dominated. So it was just all phenomenal for the defense.
Donovan Wilson must have listened to the pod last week after your complaints, Brenden, because man, that man did some things last night. Dude,
him and Malik Hooker. Like Malik Hooker breaks up a pass going to Devontae Smith too. It was awesome.
Curse had his best game too. They until I believe he missed some getting hurt, but he was balling before then.
Yeah, he was. Michael, what about you? I know the defense is beat up on bad teams, but when you look at what they did last night against a good team, was this a turning point for you?
I got to wait and see. We got a question later on. There's a lot of injuries on this team. So I want to see how they handle the Hankins thing and not just the decision of what they try to do, but how it works. Right. You look and you lose a guy like Diggs, it's going to have an effect on your overall defense. Then you lose a guy like LVE, it's going to have effect on your overall defense. So adding another level of that a secondary guy, linebacker guy, now a defensive line guy. I want to see how they handle Buffalo, Miami. You may not be able to handle Miami no matter what. They're just
Yeah.
that good. But I want to see how they look first before I'm for sure. But man, they beat up on a Eagles team that, say what you want about the defense and the change, like their quarterback's there. Their whole offensive line was healthy and started. Goddard was back and started. Both those top receivers there and playing. Like they had their full unit ready to go, and Dallas choked them out.
Yeah, they really did.
Impressive.
So, Mikey, you mentioned Hankins. What is your plan if Hankins is out long term?
Well, we know now it's a high ankle sprain. Could be anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks. I would lean towards the 4-week mark, which sucks because we're going to lose him for Buffalo, Miami, Detroit. Yeah. I believe if it was season ending, they would have gone out and gotten somebody. Now I believe that they won't do that. I think they'll play Gallimore more, play Golston more. They'll move Osa down to the nose and move in, guys like Tank and them to D-line more. I think they'll use so that Gallimore will get more time. So I have a feeling that the people hoping that we bring in a Brockers or a Sue or a Pennell, all former Super Bowl winners, all good one techniques. I don't know if that's Dallas's style. I think they're going to see what Mozzie could do. He's a first-round pick. They want to see what happens when you elevate him into this position. I think Golston they like. I think Neville Gallimore is on a contract year, and they're going to give him more snaps. So I think that's going to be the plan more than outside help. But I personally wouldn't be against bringing in outside help. I'm just telling you what I believe the Joneses would do.
I would not be against Gallimore getting some more reps, man. I've always rooted for Gallimore. I know he's kind of been up and down, and he hasn't played a lot this year, but he's had, some good performances when he's got the opportunity. Brendan, what about you? What if Mozzie is Mozzie ready for a bigger role if Hankins misses an extended period of time?
I think right now you're just going to have to find out if he is, because the LVE injury hurt. It did, but Damone Clark and Marquise Bell have played up to above expectations, and they've been balling out. Of course, you don't want injuries on any team. Of course, not mainly your own. But maybe this is what Mozzie needs. Like he's like, oh, I have to do something here. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna come in situationally. Like, oh, Osa's tired. Let me go out there for a little bit. It's like I have to play starting minutes tonight. I have to try my best. So maybe this is what he needs. This is a kick in the pants to actually go. I would like to see what he does.
Yeah, I mean, you invest a first-round pick in him. Now it's time for him to not necessarily prove it, but just to see what he's made of, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about bringing Big Bo back? Did he ever get to a team, or is he still out there?
Quentin, I swear I saw him on a team. I swear I saw like a random player do something. It was Bohanna.
Maybe it was. Well, if he's available, put him on the practice squad. Maybe.
Big Bo, hey, I wouldn't be mad. He's familiar with the defense. I'm not sure. I mean, was the reason he got cut just because we have too many defensive linemen and he, just wasn't good enough, or was it other reasons?
It was tough. It was tough getting him with how many other players we had at other positions. Yeah. I wonder if Fihoko will be the one that's likely elevated.
Didn't he get IR stashed?
Oh, maybe he did.
Also, Quentin Bohanna is on the Lions.
Oh, good for Bo. I'm glad.
Man. So, Mike, you kind of touched on it earlier. You mentioned the loss of Diggs, LVE, and now Hankins. How do can the Cowboys overcome the loss of those three?
It's not going to be easy. My worry is Bell's a littler linebacker, and now you're losing your best protection guy, even if he's not your best run defender, because Osa's been a pretty damn good run defender as a 3 technique, but he's your guy that takes doubles, that, is just a big, beefy guy that holds up blocks, and it allows the smaller Bell to move around and make plays. So that worries me, that it like I said, it's all a progression. So let's say taking Miami, right? If you have Diggs, you might run a few more plays where you're in man-to-man with Trayvon Diggs. Now you don't have them. So you probably got to keep safeties back on both sides because Waddle and Hill both have too much speed, and you keep people back. Okay, so your safeties are back. You don't have them playing up at the line. Now you don't have Hankins, your best one technique to hold up blocks. So now you have no safety protection. Your one technique's going to be much worse than he has been. And you're asking linebackers like smaller ones like Jaron Kearse and Marquise Bell, who are more safeties, to hold up in those scenarios. I don't know if they can. So it's not going to be easy. It's going to be time for Mozzie to step up, and I'm not sure if he's ready for that.
Brenden, what about you? What are your thoughts on that?
So far, the first two injuries of Diggs and Leighton, of course, you would love to have. If we could have Trayvon with his defense and have Deron Blaine in the slot with Gilmore, it's game over. Like,
man,
the pass rush, Micah would have at least 2 more sacks. And I think D-Law would have at least 4 with a little bit more time to get to the quarterback. But this team has answered to injury so far. You lose Diggs, Deron Bland steps up. Like I said, of course, you want these players. You lose LVE. Bell and Damone Clark has steadily gotten better each week. And so, Hankins' injury hurt last year, but we didn't have Mozzie. We didn't have Neville Gallimore actually playing, like he should be on a roster instead of, just thrown to the curb. It's all people who step up. So we're just going to have to find out these next 4 games if someone's going to, or we're praying to God Hankins comes back earlier.
Yeah. I bet, Quinn's going to have to get a little creative with the defensive line. Could we see maybe Micah playing a few more snaps at linebacker? You mentioned Golston and Osa moving inside more. Could we see a little bit more Sam Williams rushing the passer now? Maybe some more Dorrance Armstrong. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I agree. I think the pass rushers will be good. The worry is that his team's just doing halfback dive on us. That's the one that old school Rams in the playoffs a couple years ago.
A-Chain and Raheem Mostert against this run defense, bro, is not a fun thought.
Scares me.
You just made me think of fat CJ Anderson. Why would you make me do that? Like, you made me think of that fat man running over 100 yards on us. Why would you do that?
Dude, I wish they had CJ Anderson as their starting running back instead of A-Chain and Raheem Mostert. My God.
My worry, I think Dallas will be pretty motivated against Buffalo with I believe they have Vic Fangio after last year, and everything.
Yeah.
But the Miami game is starting to be the one that worries me more. Unless it gets, colder or the weather changes in Buffalo, that Miami game is, I don't know if the defense can handle that team. We're going to have to see.
It'll be interesting, man. That could be like the cherry on top, depending on how Dak plays, but that could be the cherry on top of his MVP, resume or however you want to call it.
45-42 Dallas.
Man, that'd be insane. Brenden, was this Dallas's most complete game of the year?
I would say, technically, you could say the Giants game week 1 because you score 40, your defense plays well, your special team. But against the actual competition, yeah, you have your kicker go 5 for 5 on the day. Dak Prescott diced that defense. The run game did stuff. The defense held that team to 6 points. Technically, even San Fran gave up more points than the Eagles, which I don't know, that's an argument, but just saying, like, that team was pure dominant. Mike McCarthy just came back from surgery and had his bag with him. Yeah.
Yes, sir, he did. Mike, what about you? Did you think this was the most complete performance of the season?
Yeah, I got to give them that. They held the Philly to 6 points, got 3 turnovers on them. Aubrey's field goals broke a record, first person ever, 60 and 59 to hit to that far. And then, I mean, if you're Dallas this season, like since the bye week, and I tell you, well, I think the person that played the worst was probably Dak. You probably destroyed that game because Dak is lighting people up, and he had a good game. But if you look at like the run game got going, I thought the run game was pretty, especially in the first half, 5 yards of carry. What the defense did. So like Dak was badass. It was a improvement on his MVP resume for sure. But you might look around and be like, well, I guess Dak played the worst, maybe. Like that's saying something.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it wasn't. I don't know about you guys, but the second half performance of the offense kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Was that a concern at all for you, for either one of you guys, Mike?
Not me. I think what happened is they had a good lead, and then that fumble sack happened. They returned it, and they came right back down and went down the field. They just got held to field goals. But I think the reason is the point of the drives. The point's always to score points, but the point of the drives was to take some time off the clock. You have this lead. Don't do anything where the defense can get another turnover and get them back in the game. You're up 2 scores. They got down, and when Dak, they blitzed Dak on this play, and he had to hit a spot to get the ball to Ferguson. The guy was right in his face. Ferguson snags it out of the air, and I was like, okay, we're ready to go. We're still in it. We came down, got a field goal. They put on, I think they got another field goal or 2, and that was enough. That's all they had to do. So it didn't concern me. No, of course you hope they put on another touchdown and beat them, 40-13, but it wasn't a big deal.
Brenden, what about you? Did that offensive second half performance at all concern you?
It didn't. But that touchdown did scare me because my dad and I looked like, it's a game again. Why would you do this? But then Dallas goes right back and scores. I didn't like the aggressiveness of McCarthy because he's like, if we get a touchdown, it's game over. So he was trying to throw some deep ones. I'm like, don't just work the middle of the field like you have all game. But it really didn't.
I do love, man, how McCarthy just never forces anything. He'll take what the defense gives him. He'll repeatedly use what works over and over and over until the other team finds a way to stop it. He's really put on a masterclass, man, these last 6 or 7 weeks.
He takes plays that he sees works from other teams too. That's one of the things I really like. A couple plays on the opening drive were stolen from the Niners game. A couple of screens, and I was like, he knows.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was reading an article about McCarthy. I can't remember who was it that was, speaking so highly of him, but he was just saying that, man, McCarthy as the head coach and the play caller is just an absolute assassin, and we're starting to see that.
Yeah, he's destroying. He gets. We'll talk about it here too, but in my article of major takeaways, I point out that he should be a coach of the year candidate, which I know we're going to get into.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You look at the offense's performance lately, and it's kind of hard to ask for more. But Brenden, what else do you need to see from this offense, if anything?
The only thing I could think of, because I thought of this question, is it's just a little bit more from the run game. But that's it. You're passing. This is beautiful. Like, I could watch this team throw the ball all day. Gallup had, honestly, one of his best games of the season against Philly. Fergie does Fergie things, leading the team in receiving yards by 1, but he still did it. Lamb balled out. It's just the run game. Like, Pollard looked like old Pollard. Like, he had some explosive, angry runs, and I was like, oh, I like where this is going. It's just a little bit more polish off of that, but that's it. And Terrence Steele needs to play a little bit better. Other than that, no.
I was so impressed with our run game last night that, like, when Dowdle went down for a minute, I was, like, legitimately concerned. I'm like, please don't let this be serious. Like, please get back up.
Oh, yeah, because we have Deuce Vaughn, who's, of course, he's not dressed, and then we have Lipke. It would be Pollard the entire time, which he's still not completely healthy. And so you just want to run down Pollard in an Eagles game?
They would have put Turpin at running back.
Oh, don't see that. I want to see that. Like, why would
That'd be really fun.
That would have
awesome. Been the plan. If Dowdle's out, Turpin would have been the change of pace guy.
God, Turpin's awesome.
We'll probably see Turpin get some running back reps in the playoffs, I'd imagine, against the San Francisco or one of the better teams.
1 carry, 23 yards. Sorry.
There you go. No, Mike, do you need to see anything else from this offense, if anything?
See him play in the cold. That's always been a thing with Dak is playing in the cold with that offense. But other than that, I'm good. The passing game's elite. The O-line has played much better. The running game has been much better. I never thought that we're going to get to this in my player spotlight later, but I never thought they'd run on Philly the way they did. 5 yards a carry in the first half. People don't do that. Niners, because they're Niners, and Kyle Shanahan's a wizard. But minus that, like, nobody runs on Philadelphia, and we were moving them. So I was happy about that. Just got to see them in the cold. Let's see what they do in a late Green Bay game. Maybe Buffalo's pretty cold this coming up week. Let's see how they do.
Yeah. We've talked about Dak being an MVP candidate for a few weeks now, and he continues to just cross things off the checklist to add to his resume. Mike, is Dak your top MVP candidate as of today?
Yes. I'm okay with Christian McCaffrey also, but we all know it's not going to go to a running back. And I'm okay with Tyreek Hill. That's your three for me. I think that's the three guys. And I have Dak first because realistically, a quarterback's what's going to get it.
Yeah. Brenden, what about you? Is Dak your top MVP candidate?
How can you not? Like, the things he's doing this past, 2 months? Honestly, Dak can play great the rest of his career. I don't think we're ever going to see this again. This is just pure dominance. And I can't wait. I've been thinking about this. It doesn't matter how this season ends. It does not matter. People are going to be complaining so much that Dak's about to get paid. And everyone's going to be freaking out. Why? He didn't deserve this. I'm like, you were just chanting MVP at him every game. And now you're pissed that he's about to get paid. Yeah. We see what type of fan you are. Cool.
Exactly. Yeah, I'd agree with you guys. It's Tyreek, it's CMC, and then Dak Prescott for sure. And because it's a quarterback award, like you said, Mike, it's definitely Dak is at the top. And somebody else who's kind of starting to get some recognition for an award is Mike McCarthy. Should Mike McCarthy be in the Coach of the Year conversation, Brenden?
I think so. Of course, the team's done well. We did decently before the bye, but the improvement this team has just across the board after the bye week, we've never seen it before. The only time we've seen improvement from a bye week is when we got Amari Cooper. That is the only year I remember hey, we got better.
Yeah.
This team has changed everything. Nothing's working like this. Okay, let's try this, and it works. Working to your player's strengths. Motion is a thing. He won't get the recognition. I think, honestly, if the Broncos make the playoffs, Sean Payton deserves everything because that team's a dumpster fire. So, but Mike McCarthy easily deserves to be in the combo.
Absolutely. What about you, Mike? You agree with that?
Yep. Put him in there for sure.
I agree with you. So in addition to Mike McCarthy, let's name the three coaches we would nominate for Coach of the Year. Mike, start us off.
My three would be D'Amico Ryans from Houston. Unbelievable rookie coach with a rookie quarterback is in the division race for that. Such brutal that CJ Stroud got hurt. That stinks. And then the other one was tough because my second guy is McCarthy, and then my third I had Peyton at 7-6, but I decided I was going to go Stefanski because he beat the teams that he beat are legit, Niners. They beat the Niners, Niners killing everybody, and they beat him with the third string. Watson, if he's there, he's an issue just because of all his off-field stuff. Even when he's there and healthy, you have to deal with the fact that that's what everybody's going to be talking about when they talk Watson. Then he's hurt, and you have guys, you want to get with Joe Flacco, nuts. So that's my other guy. So I got Ryans, McCarthy, Stefanski.
Brenden, how about you?
Well, first off, I think it's just, Joe Flacco is an elite quarterback. That's the No, but I love D'Amico Ryans. I love that hiring so much. And they're playing with house money right now with how that team is. That team does not deserve to be near the playoffs. It doesn't. And they're there. So it's D'Amico. I love McCarthy there, and Sean Payton. The things Sean Payton and D'Amico Ryans have done with those awful rosters is just impressive.
Yeah, I can't believe I overlooked D'Amico Ryans, but my list is Mike McCarthy, Mike McDaniel out there in Miami, and then number 3, Kevin Stefanski of the Cleveland Browns. What he's been able to do with 4 different quarterbacks this year is nothing short of impressive.
Yeah, he's that defense is legit.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Brenden, is this the most confident you have been in this team?
Yeah, by far. Because when we win, it's like, oh, like the Seattle game, man. Hey, we won. It was a hard fought game, but your defense failed for 3 quarters. Your defense couldn't do anything. We couldn't beat better teams because now no one can say that because that means you're gonna say Philly's bad, which they're the top team in the NFL and stuff. But this is they were smarter, they were stronger, they just came out more prepared. When have we ever said a Cowboy team came more prepared against an actual good opponent? Never.
Yeah. Oh, Prescott had a good coach candidate for Coach of the Year. Shane Steichen of the Indianapolis Colts. That's a good one, too.
We hate him. We don't like him. He is
former
up there.
Eagles coaching staff member. Yes, sir. Mike, is this the most confident you've been in this team?
No, I got to say, going into the playoffs in 2021, I honestly, at that time, we didn't know that Niners were going to eliminate us, whoop us. And I saw Jimmy G, and we had Amari Cooper and Lamb and everything. And while I knew our O-line wasn't great, I didn't expect him to give up 33 pressures or whatever the hell it was, So that 2021 team, I was telling everybody, Niners ain't beating us. Not with Jimmy G. We got Dak. I was confident. The defense had Dan Quinn that year. They weren't great, but they were like 15-ish. They were in the middle. And I was like, with our offense and the top 20 defense, we're good to go. And then, of course, what happened. But this year, I don't know if we can handle San Francisco. They're a bad matchup for us.
Yeah, unlike Mike, man, heading into that matchup against San Francisco in 2021, I was not confident. There's proof on the pod of that. But yeah, This is easily the most confident I've been in this team, especially this season. But yeah, I haven't felt this confident in a long time about the Dallas Cowboys. But Mike, I know you're not. You felt more confident about this team, but is this the most confident you've ever been in Dak?
Yes. Go ahead, Brenden.
Yeah.
I don't have much to add. We've talked about it for weeks now. This is what Dak's been doing. Like I said, I've talked about it every week. I feel like I'm on a broken record. Just the confidence. I feel confident watching the game, just seeing him play. And of course, I'm just sitting on the couch doing jack crap. So yeah, this has been the best Dak we'll ever see. Honestly, if there's another tier that we find in the playoffs or if somehow next year, dear God, I don't even know.
That McCarthy play calling it's been I can't believe how much of it, because I like Kellen Moore. I never thought he was great, but I didn't think he was a real issue. He's an all right coordinator, and you see now and you're like, he is not McCarthy. He just isn't.
See, that's why I'm more confident than I am in 2021. I like the play calling we were doing on offense, but I trust McCarthy so much more than I ever did in Kellen Moore's play calling. We haven't seen a triple reverse in a while.
You mentioned, Brenden, you mentioned another tier for Dak Prescott. Is it selfish of me to think that he actually might have another tier that we have yet to see?
Don't let the national media hear you say that. Don't ever let them hear you say that. If he does, I would, first off, I think the world of him. So I think, of course, if Dak keeps playing like he is and he keeps training, he can. But what else can he do? Like, he does everything. He's running the ball. He's running away. He's throwing people open. He's beating everybody. I don't know what else you want from him. I guess a complete season, because the offense wasn't where it was against San Fran, and then you lose it to Philly. But like, other than that, I don't know what you want. Like, this is perfect.
He would be in Mahomes Burrow tier. If he could take it up another level, he'd be Mahomes Burrow level.
Well, I think an MVP and a Super Bowl either victory or appearance puts him in that tier, don't you think, with the way he's playing?
That's tough. Just because they're so young. That's the big thing. They got youth. So Dak's doing this well when isn't he 30 or just about to turn 30?
He's 30 right now.
Okay, yeah. So you see what they're doing, And if Dak's doing this and he's doing this while getting better at age 30, wait till you see what they do. Of course, if Burrow comes back healthy and everything, and Browning doesn't take his spot, which would be pretty funny. But that's the biggest thing they'll say. That's why they're a different tier. They're doing this and they're dominant young. And Dak's just now getting better at 30.
All right. Well, didn't Peyton Manning kind of like, take his game to another level up in his early 30s?
About 28, about 28 years old. Yeah, he started to level up. He was always great regular season, but he started to get the wins in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. This is definitely the most confident I've been in Dak, and it's crazy to think that, I don't know, man, I feel like we could maybe see him be even better with McCarthy maybe next year, but I love what I'm seeing this year. Like I said, it's a legacy season for Dak for sure. Mike, who's your player of the game?
Gilmore. Held AJ Brown had a solid game, 9 receptions, 94 yards. It's fine, but he never hit a big play. He's the big playmaker, get Eagles going guy, and he stopped them from doing that. He caused a fumble. He had 9 solo tackles, the next highest as far as last night was. I don't know if it's changed, after a rewatch or whatever, but the next highest was 4. So he more than doubled the next highest person on tackles. So, yeah, Gilmore, shout out to him. He had a great game.
Gilly. How about you, Brenden? Who's your player of the game?
Oh, it's Gilmore. Dak played well. The offense went, brother. That game does not go the way it does if Gilmore doesn't play half as good as he did. That was, like I said earlier in the show, vintage Gilmore. That was awesome.
Yes, sir. I had a feeling you guys might either say Prescott or Gilmore, so I went a different direction. I'm going with Mr. Brandon Butter Aubrey.
That's
Fantastic
fair.
Game.
That's fair. I thought about that earlier, honestly.
Three field goals of 50 yards or longer. Perfect continues to be perfect on the season, man. Just an absolute crazy season that he's having, man. We're so lucky to I don't know how the hell we ended up with him, man, but it's crazy.
He's a rookie kicker, and he's the best kicker in the league right now. Think about that.
It's insane.
Insane.
Player spotlight, Brenden. Who you got?
Well, I was only thinking about stuff. I will. You know what? I feel weird doing it because I try to do it every week, but it's Jake Ferguson again. He hurdled another guy back-to-back weeks. Like, oh my Lord! But like I said, he led the team in receiving yards. Like I said, only by 1. Lamb still had a great game. He just gets open, and even when he's not open, he muscles his way. He lowers his head and shoulder on Rodrigo Blankenship. Like, dude,
took him out of the game.
He's just like he's the enforcer on offense. It sounds weird that we're saying a tight end, but like he's reliable. He does everything right, and it's just so much fun to watch.
The enforcer, that should be his nickname. That's a pretty cool nickname, dude.
I like Biscuit.
Biscuit. Yeah, I like that too, Mike. Who's your player spotlight? Piglet.
It Biscuit fits too because it's a bread.
Yeah.
And Mr. Breadman down there is favorite. He's the leader of the train. It all works together.
It really does.
Tyler Smith for me.
That's fair.
He was moved, dude. There was a couple plays where he turned Jordan Davis. You know how hard it is to turn Jordan friggin' Davis? And he's just like, no, bro, you ain't got it. You're a big dude. I'm a strong dude. And there is a difference. Like, you could be strong for your size and just strong. And like, they were running behind him. Like, that's where they were getting their yards. Like, we're going to run to that left side. And religiously for about a season and a half now, even with Steele's injury, Zach Martin Steele has been the side they've ran on. That's been, you double up, Steele and Zach Martin double, Zach Martin gets to the next level. This one, they're just like, we're just going to run behind Big Boy. You want to leave your DTs one-on-one? We'll leave one-on-one with Big Boy. We're good. There's a wrestler called Pete Dunne that's called the Big Strong Boy. In wrestling, that's Tyler Smith, is Pete Dunne. He's not Pete Dunne. God, I am the worst. That's the bruiserweight. It's this is gonna make me. I'm gonna think of it. Tyler Bate. There we go. I would have sat here until I got that right. They're both NXT UK guys, so that's why I met. They're like the biggest rivals against each other. That's why I messed that up. But yeah, Tyler Bate, the big strong boy. Tyler Smith, Dallas's big strong boy.
Shout out to all of our wrestling fans out there. My player spotlight, man. This guy doesn't need a spotlight, but he was just so incredible last night. I'm going to give it to him anyway. Stephon Gilmore, man. What he did to AJ Brown, how he impacted the game, just absolutely dominant, man. Really set the tone for our defense last night. Talking trash and backing it up, man. Absolutely incredible game from Gilmore last night.
They had a thing, and it reminded me of me. Okay, so me and my friend Muhammad and whoever the third person is, whether it was my brother, whatever, we would always be really good in 3-on-3, like hoop it up good. Like we would go to like places and just kill people, right? Well, we got older, we weren't the same thing, you know. And we would have people come over because I have a basketball court in my glass basketball, measured out, 3-point line, free throw line, everything out there. And we would have some young guys come over, and we would always be like, all right, we're just out here to, you know, have some fun and stuff. And then they would be like, well, that's the teams you want to do? Because, you know, they have their 3 young guys, and me, Mitchell, and like my brother wanted to play together. So we're like, yeah, we want to play our guys. They're like, okay, well, I guess we get an easy day. And we're like, oh, really? And we would just annihilate. Like, if you want to have fun, that's fine. But the minute you talk smack, the old man crew would come up. Well, A.J. Brown called Gilmore old last night on the first drive. And this is according to Gilmore. And Gilmore was like, oh, okay, I'll show you old. And that reminded me of me, Mitch, and Muhammad having young guys, you know, the 20-year-olds come over to play basketball on our court and everything. You go, oh, you guys want to play us 3 versus you 3? Oh, okay, well, you know, we'll kill you guys. And we would just beat them up, you know, kill them. And be like, yeah, young guys, next time come with respect, and we'll play some more. That was Gilmore. Gilmore had to put some respect into AJ Brown.
Yeah, I love it. AJ Brown was giving the Cowboys some bulletin board material all week, man, and we got the better of him, so it was nice to see.
It was great. Whooped him.
How do you piss off the nicest person on the team? How do you do that?
Old. Disrespect him. Like, old dudes, we don't like to be disrespected. You know, you could think it. Like, A.J. Brown could have easily thought, like, hey, this guy can't hold me, he's old. But to go to his face and say it is, oh, okay. All right, I'll show you. We old people, us old people don't like the disrespect, Brenden. Just remember that. You just take the bread jokes and you deal with it.
It's crazy that, A.J. Brown, I know he talks trash, but he seems like somebody who shows respect to other players, the NFL being a brotherhood and everything. So for him to do that, that's kind of, I don't know, surprising to me.
Rivalry, man. Rivalry will do that to you.
Very true, very true. So typically, guys, this is where Mike's view from the sidelines would be our next segment. But however, we have a special segment tonight. Shout out to a friend of the show and a lifetime friend of mine, Prescott. We have a special Prescott's path to the Super Bowl. Yesterday, Mike and Matt and I were talking during the games, and he kind of laid out a path to the Cowboys Super Bowl, and I want to hear your guys' thoughts on it because it sounds nice to me. Now, he did think that, he had the Seattle Seahawks beating the Niners yesterday for the Cowboys to secure the number 1 seed in his scenario here, but we'll still go over it anyway because I still think it's a likely option.
Ravens beat them. It's possible.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So he was saying Cowboys get the number 1 spot. We have the first round bye. Then we face the Detroit Lions in the divisional round. We beat them, of course. Then we face San Francisco at home, get revenge in the NFC title game. And then we beat the Miami Dolphins in the Super Bowl 48-28, I believe was the score. What are your thoughts on that, Brenden?
Beating the Dolphins offense by 20 points, that would be insane. The only problem I have with it, first off, is it would be awesome. I don't see Detroit winning a playoff game. I don't care that if they're at home or anything. They can't. That defense is nothing. Goff is throwing pick after pick or fumbling. But hey, if we get to beat San Fran at home, which what we have dominated this year, get revenge on that awful showing at San Fran, I'd love it. That'd be such a fun. But honestly, I kind of like to see more Baltimore though.
Forgive me, guys. It was 42-28, not 48-28. Forgive me, Prescott. My bad on that. Still, by 14 points. I mean, I'll take that victory, of course.
Yeah.
To put 42 on the Dolphins, that'd be nice.
I'll take that Christmas Eve. Give me that
hey,
Christmas
there you
Eve.
go. Absolutely. Mike, what are your thoughts on that path to the Super Bowl for the Cowboys?
I don't want to play San Francisco or Miami, personally. I don't like the idea of playing either of those two teams.
That's fair. For me, I when I was talking with Matt, I'm like, yeah, I like the sound of this. But after seeing what the Cowboys did last night, just thinking about, Dak's legacy and everything, I'd kind of like to see, man, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but of course I'd like a first round bye. But imagine if Dak, he gets the first round bye, he wins the MVP award. Then he has to face the Eagles and San Francisco. He beats both of them. And then he faces the big boy. I know Kansas City isn't, what it usually is, but faces Kansas City in the Super Bowl, and he beats the king of the NFL, Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl. Man, for him to do that, that would just be the icing on the cake.
That's the ideal. If you were writing it, if you could guarantee me it would happen, that's the way. Then if they go, hey, no matter how it's set up, I guarantee you Dallas wins the Super Bowl this year. It's for sure. You made the wish came true. I would want it to be Dallas or Eagles, Niners, Kansas City.
No, okay, Eagles and Niners on the road or at home?
Oh,
home. Yeah, I want them. I want them to come to our house because I want our fans to be able to enjoy that, to get that.
Yeah, it would just be crazy to think that he did all that on the road. You know what I mean? That'd be insane.
But after our record though this year at home, and of course going into last year as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Besides seeing the videos, of course I was there last night, but seeing the videos and just everybody going insane is so awesome to see. Imagine beating the crap out of Philly in the NFC Championship game. That stadium would burn down. Like Jerry would have to drop another couple $1 billion to get that place would burn.
Man, yeah, McCarthy did say that was the loudest he's ever heard it in his time here. So, glad to see the Cowboys nation kind of turning up a bit when it matters.
It was beautiful.
All right, guys, true or false? Jalen Tolbert has been a disappointment again this season. Brenden,
I say false because he hasn't been asked to do much. If he took Gallup's spot and even though they're reps, I think Gallup just now has the edge over him. But if he's the number 3, then but he's not asked to play that much. He's played a lot more in the fourth quarter when they've been blowing teams out, and he makes plays when it matters. Because remember, Dak shrugged off a sack against Seattle. He threw a dot to him right on the sideline. So he's not being asked for much. So it's whatever.
How about you, Mike? True or false?
False. There was no expectations. So, if you, what is it? What does Zendaya say? Or Mary Jane, Mary Jane Watson in Spider-Man? Expect disappointment and you can never be disappointed or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
There was no expectations for him. So he can't have disappointed.
Yeah, I'm with you guys as well. False for me. I did expect a little more from him statistically, but considering the year Lamb is having, how Cooks and Dak have developed their chemistry, and the emergence of Ferguson, I think Tolbert has been good, not great this year. And when he's been called upon, I think he's done well.
That's all he has to do.
He hasn't been offsides.
Yes, sir. Man, that Green Bay game, I'll never forget that. Okay, Mike, one word. Mike McCarthy's 2023 season has been blank.
Reviving. People are starting to realize what he was when he was going to the NFC Championship game and won a Super Bowl, and everybody just said, well, he sucks, his quarterback. And I'm like, no, that's not how it works. These coaches matter. So, yeah, that reviving would be my word.
Brenden, Mike McCarthy's 2023 season has been blank.
My word was evolving.
Oh.
Because, like I said, he's learned. We've had Jason Garrett for so long, and of course we've had Kellen Moore's offense. They've never learned to help themselves. Like they haven't changed anything. Okay, well, just a little bit. You'll see some crazy plays against different teams. He's completely changed the game for both sides. He's let Dan Quinn do his thing, but they've changed everything, and they trust their players. Their players trust them back. It's all love there. They're all locked in. It doesn't matter. Like, I realized today, I watched, of course, the clip from last night. I talked as much trash as anyone on Jordan Lewis, and I do. Everybody in the locker room loves him because I know this sounds cheesy, but it's a brotherhood. That team loves each other. They're fighting. They're wanting everybody to ball out. The defense wants to play better than the offense, but they want the offense to drop 50. It's just great.
Absolutely. I went a little simpler than you guys, but for me, Mike McCarthy's 2023 season has been impressive. I mean, you look at the beginning of the season, things weren't working right. What does he do? He changes things up. He's just showing his experience. What we're seeing from Dak and what we're seeing from the offense is nothing short of impressive. So I've been really impressed with Mike McCarthy this season. I liked him after the 2020 season, but he's really shown me a lot this year, man.
Agreed. He has been very impressive.
All right, here we are with top 5. And Prescott, I'm sure you'll, if you're still with us, man, you're going to enjoy this top 5 category. But we're going to be ranking our favorite cereals. Mike, I know you didn't eat a lot of cereal. Brendan, I know you didn't eat a lot of cereal. I don't eat as much cereal as I used to when I was younger. But cereal, man, it's almost like, Mike, you said eggs are like a perfect food. Cereal is so diverse, right? Like it can be a snack, it can be a meal. Like typically you eat it for breakfast. It
late
can be
night.
Dessert. Late night, it can be useful in a variety of ways. It's always a nice treat lately, especially when you haven't had it in a while and you find your favorite cereal at home. So yeah, I'm excited for this category, man. And I know your brother Mitch, he shared his list with us tonight as well. So I'm excited to see the cereals he has on his list. So let's start us off with Mitch's number 5.
All right, Mitch's number 5 is Rice Krispies. The Rice Krispies. But he told me, he goes, you just have to pour a ton of sugar on it.
Wait, what Rice Krispies though?
Just the traditional original Rice Krispies.
Okay.
It's distinct because mine's a little different. So, I need to make sure to put that out. The Snap Crackle Pop Rice Krispies with a ton of sugar on it is Mitchell's 5th cereal.
I ain't even mad at that, man. I'm really not. Mike, what's number 5 on your list?
Rice Krispie Treats cereal.
Yes.
Which is, you'll find out in my, the reason I don't eat a lot of cereals, it gets too soggy for me. And I'm a texture guy. So you'll notice almost every cereal I have are ones that stay crunchy for as long as possible. So Rice Krispie Treats, they're the little marshmallow Rice Krispie candy that like bars, they chop them up, basically dehydrate them for cereal. And then when you pour milk on them, they stay crispy and they taste like Rice Krispie Treats with milk. So I like it.
I haven't had that in years, dude, but that was always a good one, man.
Bomb, dude. So good.
Brenden, number 5 on your list.
Well, so I haven't eaten cereal in a while. So this is going back to, childhood days. My first one, because it gets better as the list goes on. I went simple because I didn't eat much. I just said Cheerios, like Honey Nut Cheerios, dude. I really did like just eating them early in the morning right before school.
Nothing wrong with that one. That's a good one, dude.
It wasn't my best. It wasn't the best out there. Like I'm not uber happy, but it was good. Got me through the day until lunch.
That was my number 6. Is Honey Nut Cheerios. I actually am a big fan. They weirdly stay decently crunchy for a good amount of time. I just can't have a lot of milk with them. If you put too much milk, they get soggy fast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, number 5. This was the cereal, man. I remember eating a lot as a kid. I love the flavor of it. The milk always tasted great afterwards too. I don't know why where they got the name from because it doesn't taste anything like it. But number 5 on my list, Apple Jacks.
Yeah, I think I've had Apple Jacks once.
Yeah.
And you're right. I don't know why it's called Apple Jacks.
I just remember the commercials.
Yeah. I didn't want to say it. I don't know if this made either of y'all's list. It did make mine. But one cereal that I think is underrated, but is good in the clutch, and like every time you eat it, you're like, man, this is a lot better than I remember. Frosted Flakes.
Yep. My 7. That's my 7. Did not make my list. It gets soggy too fast.
He's talking about getting soggy, bro. Yes.
I like to eat Frosted Flakes and the Rice Krispie Treats, honestly, without milk.
Oh, yeah.
Like a snack. Back in the day.
Yes, sir. Right. Okay, number 4 on my list. This one, man, does not get soggy, and it's crazy how much it tastes like the name. Reese's Puffs.
Oh yeah, that's a legendary one. That one's number one on many people's lists.
Probably so. I feel like one that's going to be maybe on both of y'all's lists is going to be number one on most people's list. But Brenden, give us number 4 on your list.
Dude, this one I had to look up because, like I said, I haven't eaten it in a while. Dude, it's Cookie Crisps, and it's dude, that I felt like I was cheating because I've only had that like at my cousin's house. But dude, it was just it was mini cookies in milk for breakfast. Are you kidding me? Like, dude, that was it. I thought about having it higher, but I'm like, I didn't eat enough for it to be higher on my list. But no, that was a great breakfast.
I remember the commercials, man. That's a good one, dude.
Cookie Crisp.
Yep.
Also, my number 4, Cookie Crisp.
Oh, nice. What's number 4 on Mitch's list?
Waffle Crisp.
Oh,
another
man.
one that if you eat it fast, the texture stays good.
Mm-hmm.
Waffle Crisp was a good one. Did not make my list, but I like when Mitchell said that one. I was like, yeah, that's another good one. You eat very little milk, so it doesn't get soggy too fast, but really good.
Bro, Waffle Crisp and French Toast Crunch. Boy, oh boy. Okay, Mike, what's number 3 on Mitch's list?
O's. Do you guys know what O's are?
Dude, that almost made my list, but it like will tear your mouth up if you're not careful, man. So I didn't add it, but that was like number 6, dude.
Which is why I love it. Give me all the texture. So I'm with Mitchell on this one. I love O's. That's his third. My third is okay. So this is a new cereal this is something I ate recently, and I don't really eat cereal, but I saw it and I was like, oh, I've never seen, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, right?
Yes.
Well, it was cinnamon French Toast Crunch.
I saw that, dude. How is it?
And the difference is that the cereal is made out of like grams, like graham crackers. Yeah. And the texture is unbelievable. It does not get soggy. Now, I don't leave it long enough to tell but like through the whole thing, it's crunchy every bite. And that is really important to me. And it's one of the reasons I don't really like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, like the flavor's there, but it's like instantly soggy. And so if you're into Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but you want it to not get soggy, get the French Toast Crunch. So
have you had the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the churros?
Not yet.
Bro, those don't get soggy and they're so good.
I will try them.
Please do. Brenden, number 3 on your list.
See, you can easily tell I chose these because they're like my childhood. I said Lucky Charms, dude. Those marshmallows kicked butt.
The cereal magically delicious.
Yes, sir.
Those are pretty good though.
I heard they had those all marshmallows. Like you can get them just the marshmallows.
That had to be new because I was not that lucky. Sometimes I just went digging through my cereal list looking for the marshmallows, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if they still have those on the market, but they did at one point have Lucky Charms all marshmallows.
Well, you buy a regular box of Lucky Charms, and you buy the marshmallows, and you take a handful of the marshmallows and put them in because the Lucky Charms always did not have enough marshmallows. That's
I completely agree.
All right, number 3 on my list. I don't know. I probably sound like an old man here, but Raisin Bran with bananas. That is when my mom first made that for me for the first time. Life changer, bro.
You cut fresh bananas, or it had like dried bananas?
Cut fresh bananas.
Okay, gotcha. I was like, I never heard of that. Okay, yeah, with cut bananas, of course.
You want to feel like you're maybe eating healthy or something, put a banana in it. So
I didn't like raisins growing up, so I never ate Raisin Bran. I don't think I've ever tried Raisin Bran. I eat raisins now, I just don't eat cereal, so I never tried it.
You like texture? Try Raisin Bran Crunch.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's really, really good. It almost made my list, actually. All right, number 2, Mike, you might not like this one because it gets soggy. I usually don't let it sit long enough to ever get soggy, but even when it is, like, if you find that way to perfectly get it still where it's crispy and some soggy bits in it, it's unbeatable. Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. Yeah, that's I will still occasionally have a bowl of Fruity or Cocoa Pebbles. I still will. They did not make my list because of
Yeah.
the texture,
Right.
but and then talk about great milk, the cocoa especially, but Fruity Pebbles too. Good milk afterwards.
Absolutely. Brenden, number 2 on your list, sir.
You can tell we really don't eat cereal that much. My number 2 was the Rice Krispie one, but the chocolate ones. That is
Cocoa Krispies?
Yes.
That's what it was called. Oh my
Cocoa
god,
Krispies.
dude! Yeah. I completely forgot the name, but yes, Cocoa Crisp. Dude, I was only a chocolate kid growing up, and that's what I needed for breakfast.
That's a good one, man. Mike, number 2 on your list.
Number 2 on my list is the O's. I mentioned was number 3 on Mitchell's. It's all about. I like honey and I like texture, and those two. They would be number 1 if it wasn't for a cereal that came out over the last 2 years barely. That was you'll see it's like a mix of cereals. It's crazy, but yeah, O's. I love texture. They're amazing.
Yes, sir. All right, what's number 2 on Mitch's list?
Cocoa Pebbles. As we've just gone over, Cocoa Pebbles, and I know I go into my number 1, so I'll do Mitchell's. Fruity Pebbles is his number 1. Those are his 2 by a million favorite cereals, which is why occasionally I still have Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles because he has them. So those are his 2. He loves the Pebbles cereals. Shout out
to he's little bro, right? Not big bro.
Little bro, both.
Yeah,
he's little bro, but he's larger bro, so he could be. He works for both.
I got you. All right, Mike, number 1 on your list.
Has anybody heard of s'mores cereal?
Yes. I haven't had it, but it looks so good, dude.
It's Cocoa Puffs, Golden Grams, and marshmallows like Lucky Charms, but all regular, marshmallows. Those things. So it's like 3 cereals mixed into one cereal. And the texture's not great because Golden Grams get soggy, but the Cocoa Pebbles stay decent. So I eat it with very little milk, very fast, but the flavor, the Golden Graham Cocoa Pebble marshmallow mix is elite cereal flavor.
That sounds delicious. All right, Brenden, number 1 on your list, sir.
Y'all already talked about it. Mine was because, like I told you, my favorite thing I only eat for breakfast really is French toast. I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch because I've never had the French Toast Crunch, which sounds pretty good. But Cinnamon Toast Crunch was just my go-to. It was just phenomenal. It tasted went well with the milk. It was just all pretty great.
I went to Ranker and I'm like, I just want to see some of the cereals that people ranked, just to kind of refresh your memory. Like, oh man, I remember having that. And the number 1 ranked cereal is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So,
dude, it's good. It's just good.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
You know what I realized right now it's not Cinnamon French Toast Crunch. That's an older cereal. It's Cinnamon Graham Toast Crunch. It was because it was brand new. And that was the graham cracker. So my bad. I call it Cinnamon French Toast Crunch. It's actually Cinnamon Graham Crunch. Something like that. But definitely try it. If you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, you got to find the Cinnamon Graham Toast Crunch. It is unbelievable.
All right, so number 1 on my list, man. It was kind of I don't want to say a battle, but I'm like, man, I could have easily gone Cinnamon Toast Crunch here. I'm going in a different direction. This one was a little bit, if you wanted to feel a little bit healthier, a little bit less sugar on this one, still great flavor. Underrated cereal, man. Cinnamon Life.
Oh, yeah. I used to eat Life a lot. Life and Kicks used to be big, and you would think not because they're kind of the healthier cereals.
Exactly, yeah.
But now you just get granola. If you want a healthy cereal, they just give you granola. But Life is underrated. I don't know about number 1 though, Paul. Man, that's high. You had some healthy ass cereal number 1. What's the matter with you?
Dude, Cinnamon Life, bro. Even though it's healthier, it just tastes so incredible.
It's legit. I can't lie. It's legit.
Well, here I was, guys. I thought we might make it under an hour for the second episode in the road, but of course, top 5 always kills that dream. So it was a great discussion as always tonight.
Love it, man. It's barely over an hour. We did good.
Yeah,
Brenden talks a lot.
Yeah,
I'm glad
sorry, my
Mitch
bad.
got to add to the show tonight as well.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Oh, seeing Devin A. Chain run a streak just terrifies me from 2 weeks from now.
Before we get out of here, Mike, give us a score update.
It was 10-10 in the Dolphins and Titans. Dolphins are punting out of their end zone. Giants are up 14-13 over Green Bay currently.
Wow. Shout out to the Giants, man.
the
I think
only-
that Giants game might be more, those two Giants games might be more of an issue than Philadelphia thinks. I expect them to beat them, but like traveling cross country to Seattle is going to be a bitch. Kyler Murray against that defense is going to be a bitch. And the way the Giants are playing defense right now, they could, one of those teams could get Philly. I would not be surprised. And I called the division over after the Kansas City game. So
Yeah.
Dolphins
Brenden,
only scored. The Dolphins only scored. Their only touchdown was a defensive touchdown.
correct.
They haven't scored at all.
That's you have to remember Vrabel is a
Defensive
great
guy.
coach at keeping his team in games. He's really good at it. So
Yeah, but holding Miami to 10 points—that's insane.
yeah, 3 really.
Yeah, it is. Well, guys, like I said earlier, I enjoyed the discussion tonight. Mike, remind the people they can find you on Twitter.
At CD Piglet, letter C, letter D, Piglet. We killed the
What is
Eagles.
this? What is
We
this?
killed the Eagles, man. Killed them. At least I didn't do this.
Scissors.
Yeah.
Brenden, where can we find you on Twitter, sir?
Find me at Brenden_Smith26.
Guys, I'm Paul Ryan. You can find me on Twitter at Paul_Ryan15. We appreciate you joining us, and we will see you guys next week.
Shout out the old people.